Hi, I'm Sarah Soringer, your correspondent for Channel 7 News. As we head toward the 2020 Olympics to be held in Tokyo, Japan, we are called to remember the sacrifices that our athletes make in order to compete at the highest level. This year marks the 40th anniversary of the boycott of the 1980 Olympic Games. President Carter made the choice to boycott the Games of 1980 when the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan in order to protect the floundering pro-Soviet government. Carter refused to support the oppression that the Soviet Union stood for and wanted to bring freedom to Afghanistan. In order to put up a uniform front and combat Soviet influence, President Carter convinced the U.S. Olympic Committee to boycott the Games. Many of the athletes were outraged because they believed that politics should be separate from athletics. Carter, however, believed that by boycotting the Olympics, he was protecting the integrity of the Olympic movement and condemning Soviet aggression. Let's look back at the untold stories of these brave Olympic athletes.
I remember watching the 1968 Olympics on television. In my mind, I said, I want to do that. I was 8 at the time and didn't voice it until I was a junior in high school. When I was 14, I told my parents I wanted to run track in high school. I went to the Olympic trials in 1980 and qualified for the 400-meter race by placing second. I was very proud of my accomplishment, but I knew right away that we wouldn't actually be going to the Olympics. It was bittersweet. By then I knew, even though I had obtained the goal I had strived for as a child, I would always be an Olympian just like all the other athletes who competed, that it would have to be an asterisk because we didn't actually go over to Moscow and compete. In my mind, it's still a great accomplishment. I tried and worked really hard and achieved a personal goal that most people never achieve. Like so many other athletes, I planned to try again in the 1984 Olympics, but I had broken my leg in a stunt double accident which made running impossible at the time. Despite this huge disappointment, I pursued a career in police forces and learned that you can rise from anything. The mental toughness that's created gives you the discipline to go through the police academy and the whole process. Athletics gives you a mental toughness. When you're tired, it changes your perspective. When you're used to being tired because of running and competing, you find a way to get through it. Like situations where you work in the jail environment where criminals are arrested and housed, or the way some of them may or may not talk to you. Some of them may challenge you to a fight. Since then, I've continued to run recreationally, and I'm very happy with my career as sheriff deputy.
My name is Anita DeFranz. I was in the 1976 Summer Olympics in the women's 8, and I won a bronze medal there. So I knew what it was like to be part of the Olympics. In the years leading up to the 1980 Olympics, I had been training for over 30 hours a week for the past 6 years, and I couldn't believe that someone was just going to take that away from me. I led a group of 25 other athletes in a lawsuit against the United States Olympic Committee for denying us the right to go to Moscow. We had worked so hard to achieve this, and they shouldn't have taken it away from us. I think that there would have been much better ways for Carter to boycott the Games. Like he could have just had one athlete walk in the opening and closing ceremonies. In the end, the court ruled that the United States Olympic Committee did have the right to prevent us from going to Moscow. I was completely devastated, and so were all the other athletes that had spent their lives training for this one moment. The moment is gone. Having taken that away from us can never be given back. I knew what it meant to be part of the Olympic movement. It was powerful. If anything, I had become an ambassador for peace. It's a life-changing experience to be part of the Games. But only just being there can change you. The truly tragic part was that athletes from other countries were brought into it and their dreams were taken away for no purpose as well. Fortunately, it was a test of the Olympic movement, and the Olympic movement showed that it was much stronger and could continue without just one nation.
She grew up in El Segundo, California. As a child, she played volleyball, basketball, and softball. Landreth's natural athleticism, combined with her talent at volleyball, prompted her to ponder the possibility of someday making an Olympic team.
In high school, I had the spark of thinking, wow, wouldn't that be cool? But it was just a hope or a dream. It wasn't anything that was actually going to happen. It was just a nice thought.
The reality of making the team took shape during her senior year in high school when she made the junior national team. Her path to the Olympics took her to El Camino Junior College, the national team, and world championships. With the motto Aim for 80, she left school and trained full-time. However, these sacrifices were made in vain.
I'd known that the Olympics was something I wanted to do. I'd do anything training-wise to make it happen. I'd left school to make it happen. I didn't graduate until 1982 when I'd finished on the national team. When we first learned of the boycott, we thought it was an idle threat. But as the weeks went on, we realized that this was our reality.
As the weight of the political decision settled in, Landreth was faced with a tough choice of whether or not to continue pursuing her Olympic dream.
There was consideration, but at the time I thought I'd had my chance, and now it was time to move on in a new direction.
When asked what it means to be a member of the 1980 Olympic team, Landreth is hesitant.
You know, it's something I'm proud of, and I feel blessed to have had the opportunity to represent the U.S. in the highest level. According to the Olympic Committee, I was really on the Olympic team, but to everyone else, it's with an asterisk.
So many of the 1980 teammates are still at a loss for words as they try to understand why their Olympic dreams were stolen. Ultimately, the boycott of the 1980 Games had little effect on the invasion of Afghanistan. It did, however, weaken the prestige of the Moscow Games. As we move forward, let's remember to honor the Olympic tradition. Hold the torch high, and good luck to all the athletes competing.